Hi guys, so I'm here to go over how you can use Photoshop and more specifically how you can use both text in Photoshop as well as the custom shape tool in order to create logos. So most people feel like whenever you're creating any type of graphics or logos that you have to use, that you have to freehand draw, and that's not always the case. You can use different tools, more specifically the custom shape tool and the shape tool in Photoshop to design something that looks creative and that looks like it's something unique, but it was something that you used that was simple to use just by using the shape tool. Alright, so we're going to go into Photoshop. So you're going to go to the start menu. By this point you should already know how to get there. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. Give it a second to open. For this activity, you're going to be creating your canvas size, and whenever I say canvas, know that that means you're creating a new document in Photoshop. So as soon as it opens up, I'm going to go to File, New, and then create a new file in Photoshop, and that's called my canvas. So I'm going to go to File, the top, New, and I want my canvas size to be relatively small because it's just for a logo. So I'm going to do width 4 inches by height 4 inches. I'm going to leave my resolution at 300 because I want a nice quality, and I'm going to leave my background contents at white. I'm going to go ahead and name it my logo so that way I know what it is, and then I'm going to hit OK. Okay, and now I have my blank canvas here that's ready for me to fill it up. Okay, so you've already used the text tool if you did your nameplate activity, so you got familiar a little bit with fonts in Photoshop, so I'm not really going to go in depth on that. I'm going to spend most of the time looking at the custom shape tool and also the shape tool in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to leave my background white for now. I can always go in and change that. But for right now it's just going to stay white. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and your down, if you go to your toolbar, which is over on the left side, down kind of all the way close to the bottom, you'll probably see a rectangle. That's your shape tool. Okay, it defaults to the rectangle. If you click and hold it, you'll see all kinds of shapes here. So, well, the basic ones. You have rectangle, the rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, the line tool, and then the custom shape tool. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over like the basic ones like rectangle and so forth, because those are pretty simple. If you wanted something that could go from a rectangular shape, you can hit rectangle, and then I could pretty much draw whatever I want it to be. So if I want it to be, even if I was making a camera, I could use kind of these basic shapes here to then go in and make something. And notice this is your fill color up here, so that's what color it's going to be. And I need to change mine because I don't want it to be the same color as the other one. And then I would come in, oops, and then I'm going to come in and draw that. Okay, so there's just kind of a basic shape of a camera. Okay, so like I was saying, you could use kind of these shape tools to do whatever. I'm going to get rid of these, and the easiest way for me to do that is click it over here in my layer box and hit delete. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is look at the custom shape tool. Photoshop has tons of shapes in here, so if you hit your rectangle tool, click and hold it, and go down to the bottom where it says custom shape tool. If you do that, you'll see that nothing really has changed here. It's still looking the same, but I want to introduce you to the top kind of menu that goes with the custom shape tool. Okay, so your fill box, this is basically what color your shape would be filled with. So if you already know in advance what you want that to be, you can choose something here. Okay, so you would just click on it, and it's there. You can choose to have it a gradient fill. So it's not like you're limited to just these solid colors. You could do a gradient fill to the shape or whatever. So it's kind of up to you, and you can always change it. The stroke here is the outline. So that's if you want it to have, if you want the shape to have, maybe it would be, think of a heart. So if you were drawing a heart and you wanted the inside of the heart to be red and the outside it to have like a black line around the outside, that's what the stroke is. It's kind of like the outline of the shape. And this right here, the size where it says mine is set to 10, that's the thickness of the line on the outside. Okay, and then over here to the right, this where it says shape, this is the actual shape. So right now I probably have a lot more showing than you do, and I'll show you how to get to all of your custom shapes. So if you hit this drop down arrow where you see the first shape, I want you to hit the little gear shift that's over here to the right, and you're going to go where it says all down here and choose all, and it'll say replace current shapes with shapes from all, and you're going to hit OK, and then all of the shapes will appear, and you should be able to see as much as I do. You can drag this out, so if you're not seeing that much, you just drag the corner and just pull it out. That way you can see all of them. Okay, and then just kind of think of something that you want to use. This is just for a logo that kind of describes you. You can use it, you put your initials in it or whatever, and so I'm just going to show you using just a kind of generic one. Okay, so I'm going to use this flower looking one. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to choose to have a gradient fill to it rather than the basic kind of color. So now that I've chosen my color, I'm going to click and drag to get my shape the size that I want it to be. And there it is. Now I'm going to use my move tool. So I'm going to select my move tool, and I'm going to move it to where I want. If I wanted to resize it from here, as long as you have show transform control selected, you're able to, holding down your shift key, drag it to be whatever size you need it to be. And then I'm going to hit OK. I'll show you kind of what the stroke is that I was talking about if you wanted a stroke on it. So if I change this and I choose maybe a purple stroke, that's what I was talking about, that outline. That one is really thick and bold. I can make it smaller so it doesn't stand out as much. There we go. Now, I could choose to add more if I wanted to. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to keep it pretty basic. And then I'm just going to go in and hit my text tool and start adding in my initials. So I'm just typing kind of one letter. Oops. And then I'm going to resize it. Just going to throw this together. So let's say I wanted this to be my shape, my logo. And I'm going to add in another line. And make that a different color so it stands out a little bit more. Not quite. And just so you know, in case you don't remember this from the last one, remember you can add a stroke to your letters over here. As long as you're on that layer over here in your layer box, you grab your effects tool and you go to stroke, change the color of it. So if I want it to be white, it makes it stand out a little bit more, and then I hit OK. I can change the size of that stroke. Okay, and then that's just kind of a basic logo that I just created in what, 6-7 minutes right here. So now it's your chance to get creative with the custom shape tool. Your logo needs to use some form of a shape, whether it's a custom shape or a regular shape. You're welcome to use as many as you like, and it must include some type of text. Okay, once you save it, you want to keep 2 copies. One copy should be the Photoshop copy because that's the copy that you can go back and edit. But the copy that you're going to turn in for me should be a JPEG copy. So I'll go ahead and show you how to save it. So you'll save it first, File, Save As. You'll choose My Logo, save it as a Photoshop document. Hit OK, and then when you go to save it again, this is once you're finished. You're going to choose File, Save As, and this time you're going to choose JPEG. And hit save again and OK, and then you're done. Alright, so I will see you guys